What up, Hugh?
Hey, what's up, Jay, man? You good?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. Hope everybody is out there. Out there is all right. We gonna be on a lighter note today. We are gonna mention the presidential election, briefly, and it's kind of concerning sports too. So, but I want to welcome everybody to this week's edition of Beyond the Bleachers. It's your boy Jay Lou here with Hugh. And we got a short show today. I was a little busy. But we got a short little show, so we're going to try to pack some stuff in this hour. So I hope you guys bear with us because we're going to try to fly through it, try to get you all the information we want to talk about this week. Actually, you know what? I am going to start off with I wasn't going to start off with the presidential election, so I might as well just get it off my chest, man. Hugh, how you feel about the Donald Trump becoming president-elect, 45th president?
It kind of surprised me because he said a lot of foul things, before he became the president. But that lets you know, too, the racism and, people out there who, believe in the same old school mentality that Donald Trump has still exists. And I was surprised to hear some of the things he was saying and the crazy, ignorant things that came out of his mouth. But to have that be backed up by other people who feel the same way, you see a lot of the people who backed him, man, they were foul. They use the N-word rapidly. And not only that, but they do a lot of low-down dirty things. They talk nasty. I've heard so many say black lives don't matter. And it's like it shouldn't be that way. Whoever you vote for is who you vote for. I don't think that you should put race or anything in it. But at the same time, he made that an issue and just was really stunned, just like you were and just like half of America, man. I was really stunned to see what happened. And that let me know, man, like I was telling you, man, we in for a really rough 4 years, man. Not only that, but just was really surprised in how much he won by.
Yeah, it wasn't
was a landslide.
Yeah. I had a different take on the whole election thing. I talked about it multiple times with people. My daughter and I discussed it multiple times, and to me, man, it was I don't believe in choosing the lesser of two evils. I don't believe in that type of stuff. If neither candidate gives me hope or moves me in a certain way, man, I just don't. I don't really deal with it like that. It was almost. I was saying it was almost like either you vote for Hitler or you vote for Pol Pot. Like what I'm saying, like one of the both of them are mass murderers and just evil, vile people. But it's like, okay, well, Hitler didn't kill that many people compared to Pol Pot, or Pol Pot didn't kill that many people. So, hey, forget it. You know what I'm saying? So I just, I chose not to vote because I just didn't, I just don't believe in the system anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
After doing some research and watching a couple videos and doing some reading or whatever, I was just like, it just felt like the system that's been in place, since I want to say the late 1700s, that electoral college thing or whatever, man. It's just, it's failed us every year. I know since I was a kid, growing up, and then when I could vote, and this was actually, I want to say probably the first election I didn't vote. And I just don't believe in the system anymore. I just really don't.
You know what that reminds me of too? It reminds me of the election version of the BCS, the way that is handled.
Yeah, man.
As he was displaying.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's just, I mean, I watched it for informational purposes, but what bothered me out of everything, man, through this whole election was the fact of how people were starting to act like you were saying, Hugh, how people were acting racist and stuff. And then not only that, you had yesterday, man, it was horrible on social media. It was to the point
it was really bad.
Oh my goodness, man. It was to the point where I didn't even want to be on social media no more. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was having conversations with people who were having logical conversations, who were talking logically about, voting and things of that nature, and we had some good conversations. They kind of said some points that I kind of agreed with, and they understood, where I was coming from with what I was saying. But, at the end of the day, it's just like, people should have right to exercise what they want to do. If somebody doesn't want to vote because they don't believe in something anymore, then that's their right. If people still want to believe in the system and, things of that nature, then that's fine too. You know what I'm saying? But the main purpose is that we all have love and respect for one another's opinions. Exactly, man. And come together.
I'm sorry, Joe. You was about to say?
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I feel like, man, I have a lot of friends who may or may have not voted for Donald Trump. One of them, one of my buddies, Jeff, at the job, man, he voted for Trump, man. But I'm not going to bash him or be hateful towards him because he's a good friend of mine. I really don't care who you vote for as long as you vote, man. But I just felt like the ignorance of it where people cursing, fighting, spitting on one another. And like you said, on the social media, how disrespectful and ignorant a lot of people been, like lashing out, like, if you ain't voting, I'm surprised, and shame on you, Michigan. I'm like, man, people can vote for who they want to, man, whenever they want to. You can't lash out on people because they didn't vote for who you wanted them to. I'm not mad at anyone for that. And I'm just glad, to be honest with you, it was over with, man, because the truth came out with hatred, racism, and so much other things that basically came out. Man. That was still alive and well. We try to bury it and kind of sugarcoat it, but it definitely came up, and it definitely came out beneath the surface.
Yeah, man, it upset me, man. I had talked to my daughter about it, and I was talking to my girlfriend about it, and I was telling her, I was like, that junk just upset me so much because of, the hate. I had friends, good friends, that I've broken bread with and talked to about, personal things in my life, and they were just attacking me and attacking others, who exercise their right not to vote. And I feel like that's not the way to really, because it's to the point where, you see these people lobbying or have this strong opinion about people not voting and, our ancestors died and whatever. But these are the same people that barely go to their kids' parent-teacher conference meetings, barely makes a difference in their communities. Don't help people out when they need it. Will drive past a person with a baby and not, ask if they need help or whatever. But you're so pro-black and our ancestors died and whatever and all this stuff, man. And I think, for us as African-American men and women out there, the change starts in our community, man, with us. It starts with
absolutely.
Us impacting our community in a certain way, because the government don't care about us right now. They're going to run this country the way they see fit, like they've been doing for hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? So it's just to the point where it's almost like the Hunger Games type deal. You know what I'm saying? Where the people were just getting just overthrown by the government and just, you know what I'm saying, just getting ran into the ground and just treated like garbage and slaves and all of this. And, you know, they had a leader, you know, that rose up and was like, hey, look, we about to overthrow this crap. You know what I'm saying? We about to rebel. We about to go ahead and take this over, man. And you know what I'm saying? So that's just, you know, from my point of view, that's how I feel about the whole election situation, man. But that's about to segue into something that I actually saw earlier. I was watching First Take, and shout out to First Take. I love the show, man. I know Skip gone. I love Skip Bayless. You know, I watch both shows, First Take and Undisputed on FS1. But First Take is my, you know, that's my first love. I love it, you know. And they were debating about Colin Kaepernick. Did you hear about that?
No.
Okay. Well, for everybody that doesn't know, Colin Kaepernick, of course, during the preseason football, early, what was it, summer, late summer or so, yeah. August, July, August. Around the Yeah. He decided he wanted to kneel during the national anthem. And you know, he was saying about the, you know, the injustices that Black people face in this country. And he wanted to protest it. And that was his way of protesting that, you know, saying by kneeling towards the national anthem. And he was, you know, it was, people was kind of rallying behind him, you know. So they asked him, the media recently asked him day before the election, was he going to vote? And he said no. He said he don't agree with neither candidate, and he wasn't going to do it. So I guess what's your thoughts on that, man? Do you think that he is? People were calling him a hypocrite because they feeling like. And this really made me laugh. You know, I love Stephen A. His opinions on stuff, you know, at times. But this, I just feel like he had wrong because he was kind of attacking his character, but he was still standing up for what he believed in. Because if I don't stand for the national anthem and I've lost faith in the government, why would I vote for somebody that I don't agree? You know what I'm saying?
It makes perfect sense for Kaepernick. Yeah. I mean, you can get your thoughts on it right quick. That would make him a hypocrite for voting if he feel like he didn't agree with them and he didn't agree with the government and the system that has been doing Black people wrong for so many years. But it's worse now, man. For the last 3-4 years, it's really been out there in the open, man, where police is gunning down innocent Black people, man. And it's not only just government, but just basically everybody turning their backs, man. They acting like nothing happened. You know, like what happened? I don't know what you're talking about. And you're seeing it is more blatant now than it's ever been. And that's why I can respect his opinion, even if a person just said, I just don't want to vote because I just don't want to. Whatever a person's opinion is, you have to respect it. You can't try to attack them and attack their character on something they feel. But just like you said, and that would make him more of a hypocrite to not agree with government and just the way Black people were treated and how we've been treated as of late, and then go ahead and turn around and vote. You know, he don't believe in the system right now, period. But you're going to vote. So, yeah, I definitely am not upset with that, you know. And for the people who didn't vote, I'm not going to throw rocks at them, you know. Like you said, I'm exercising my right. I have a right to do or don't.
And, and even with that, man, I'm just like, you know, he doesn't believe in the system anymore because the system is failing us. We just had a black man in office for 8 years, and we're still getting treated like trash. You know what I'm saying? We still have to. We're still fighting for the same injustices that we faced back in the '60s, man. You know what I'm saying? That speaks volumes. You know, some of Dr. King's last speeches, man, were eerie to the point where he knew he was going to die because he was starting to wake up. He was starting to wake up to everything. He was starting to feel like all of this and stuff is going to stay the same. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, why it was almost like he was questioning why did he just take concessions, you know, when they offered them to him? Why didn't they just keep marching and keep pushing and try to overthrow stuff, you know, because we were together back then, man. It was bonds. We were bonded to the point, man, where they feared us. You know what I'm saying? Now it's to the point where they know they can control us, so they don't care. You know what I'm saying? They don't fear us now.
We're not together, man. We definitely not together either.
We're divided because of the same stuff we had to deal with, like we were saying on social media yesterday, man. People just coming against each other, talking down to each other and all of this stuff instead of being encouraging and, you know what I'm saying, trying to just be like, hey, man, well, maybe, you know what I'm saying, this will be different this time or whatever. I mean, they was just dogging people out. And I know people in the military that didn't vote. A lot of veterans didn't vote because they know the government is full of garbage. You know what I'm saying? So they were like, I'm not voting either. You know what I'm saying? You get veterans who come over, especially that Vietnam War. People came home from Vietnam and they were treated like trash. They couldn't even find jobs. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't find jobs. They couldn't get health benefits, nothing. You know, and they have to deal with the same thing today when they come back from Iraq or fighting, you know, overseas somewhere, and they come back from war, and for what? You know?
And that's a damn shame, too. You come home after fighting for all that time and putting your life on the line, and you can't even get the proper health insurance or a job, you know. It's like, what the hell are you fighting for then?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I just, you know, it's just to the point where people are starting to wake up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like to say people are brainwashed and stuff like that because people believe in what they believe in. You know what I'm saying? If people want to still have hope, then that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But it is my job at other people's jobs who may have woke up, you know what I'm saying, from the, you know, I want to say the trance, but I'll say the illusion that we matter. You know what I'm saying right now, because we don't. And when we don't matter in our own communities, why the hell would we feel like we matter in this whole country? You feel what I'm saying? We don't even value ourselves. Yeah, we don't even value ourselves in our own communities. So they damn sure not going to value us as a people outside of our communities. So I'm saying the change starts within our communities and changing, you know, stuff within, you know what I'm saying, within that instead of that. And I don't blame Colin Kaepernick for not voting. More power to you, brother. You know what I'm saying? You stand strong and both you know, protesting the national anthem and protesting, you know what I'm saying, this slimy ass government. You know what I'm saying, we've been believing in, you know what I'm saying, black people been voting. We've been allowed to vote since about 65, 66, something like that.
And we've been voting strong.
What's changed?
Nothing.
You?
Nothing at all. It's actually gotten worse, It's actually got worse, it seems like.
Yeah. It's just, it's like the racism, like you were saying, people are coming out the woodworks now, you know what I'm saying? And the racism then, it's just not as blatant. It's still racism, but it's not as blatant as it was back, in the 50s and 60s. Back then, they, call you a nigger and all this, dumb spit in your face and, keep you out of certain places or whatever. But now they just mask their racism with something else. You know what I'm saying? It's a different form of racism. So
with a handshake and a smile. That's how it's approached now, James. They give you a handshake and a smile. May give you a job. The whole time you thinking, okay, this person is a good person, but they have to do these things. You know how many times when we look at football, basketball, and different sports where they say you at least have to, when you have, like, say, for instance, if the Lions job was vacant, you have to at least have a Lovie Smith or a black male to interview for the job before you give the job to someone. They're going to get it. Most times it don't happen, but you at least have to. It was just like the way they say, okay, we at least tried to get a black person in. The interview just didn't go well. But me and you know that's BS because the fact is they didn't have their eye on that person in the first place. They just looked at it like we're going to do that to overshadow the fact that we're definitely not going to get this candidate. But at the same time, we can at least say that we gave them the opportunity.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like I said, man, it's the illusion of inclusion, man. They want to be able to keep us under their thumb. And that's what they're able to do. They said it back in the 1700s. Keep the mind weak and the body strong. So as long as they working, or they can come into a restaurant and eat with us, around us, they can work with us, they can, go to the same schools we go to or whatever. Hey, they're not going to really look at it as if, I don't like them, or I can discriminate this way, or I can show racism this other way because, their mind is weak. So we give them concessions thinking that, they free and all this junk, but we still got them under our thumb. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it, man. So, yeah, I don't think Kaepernick is a hypocrite at all. Like you said, Hugh, he would be a hypocrite if he did vote in this damn election.
And I'm glad that he basically standing his ground, because when the last time you see, like, people who are public figures who are in sports who can make a difference stand up, man? There's not many, And just really proud of him and his efforts and how he's still going strong, And I love Brandon Marshall for what he did because he loves Colin Kaepernick and they're close friends. But he looked at it and he said to himself, which I couldn't be upset with, Cap standing strong. He said, to hell with everybody and how they feel. I'm going to do me and I'm going to stand my ground. But Brandon said, you know what? I proved my point. I just want to now not distract from my team, but still fight for those same issues. I respected that, but I just didn't like the fact that when the truth came out, when you got some of the old school guys who seemed like they were a little racist when he did what he did, like a Trent Dilfer, Phil Simms, and people were saying you need to shut your mouth and you're not even the starting quarterback. You have no right to say nothing because you're on the bench. And they were just saying a lot of ignorant things to let you know that got under their skin, that he was doing what he was doing. And, the time, I don't know the judge who said it, but a judge even came after him. Like, I don't appreciate what you're doing. It's stupid. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. And it's like, well, regardless of the fact of how you feel or what you think of me, I really don't care, because a lot of people who bashed him, he just shrugged it to the side and said, you know what, I don't really care how they feel. I'm doing what I have to do because I'm exercising my rights, and I feel like it's right to me. But he definitely, got under a few people's skin from doing that. But hey, as long as he's going strong, I can respect that, because like you said, if it's, Barack Obama, is this, even if it was Hillary or Trump, we still gonna get treated the same, man. And the black man didn't make a difference the way we've been treated. It seemed like it got worse when Obama been in office with this whole ordeal and how we were treated.
Right.
To be honest. And I'm like, damn, I was flabbergasted. Like, how come Obama ain't saying nothing about this? How come he just laid back and he too chill about this issue? And it was pissing me off, Jay, to see that he wasn't making an approach or even coming out saying, hey, this got to stop. Something got to come, we got to get a neutral ground in this, He wasn't stepping up because, hell, when people getting gunned in France and when all this other shit's happening overseas or in these other countries, that's when everybody want to be concerned. Let's pray for France. Let's pray for this place. Let's pray for that place. Shit, when we pray for America, man, that's where all the corruption and bullshit is going on at. Why don't we pray for ourselves, man? And I get so sick of that. It definitely gets under my skin.
Yeah, I agree, man. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, bro. Just hopefully stuff can get better, man, and we just, rally in our communities and, just try to stay strong, man, and not, just not hate towards each other and stuff like that, man. It's all about love right now. But
you know what?
I want to
you owe me an apology, man.
What I do?
You gotta admit that if you watched that game, you enjoyed that baseball game. And what I've been looking at, you seen the same thing your damn self with that Game 7. It's probably one of the best games I've seen in my life, Jay.
Yeah, I did enjoy the game. I did enjoy it, man. I watched all of it too, man. When we got off the air, man, I watched I turned it on. I think it was on like third inning or something, and I watched it all the way until the end. I enjoyed it. I really did.
It was fast paced too, wasn't it? It was more faster than what you thought.
I want to try to get these rest of these topics out. I want to talk about the college football playoffs again. Last week's ranking, they had Alabama at number 1, Clemson number 2. That didn't change. They had Michigan at number 3, which didn't change, and they had Texas A&M at 4. That did change because Texas A&M messed around and lost. So, was that I want to ask you, Hugh, was that like a I told you so moment for to the BCS for putting Texas A&M over Washington?
I definitely believe so, man. I was a little pissed off that I was hearing people talking crap too about Washington shouldn't be number 4. It should be Ohio State because of the strength of the schedule. And they were saying
I heard Louisville.
Yeah. I definitely was hearing a lot of people, they had flack over that. They were pissed, man. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. People were making claims to Louisville because that was like the only team they lost to was the number 2 team in the nation. So, yeah, I've definitely heard that as well. But I'm like, well, damn, Washington didn't lose a game. I don't give a damn about the strength of the schedule because of the fact is, if they're undefeated, you got to respect that, man. That's where we coming from now when we saying that BS about how, look at an SEC team that lost 3 games or 2 games and be like, well, yeah, they should be in the top 10. Like, who the hell say so? When you lost 2 games and it's clear that if you lost, then you should be proper. You may be in the top 10, but you're not going to be in the top 4.
Right, exactly. You know what? You know what my viewpoint on this, Hugh?
Mm-hmm.
I hope they do end up moving like Ohio State or Louisville, you know what I'm saying, ahead, or put a 2-loss team ahead of them. You want to know why? I want it to be as much controversy as possible with this BCS. The main reason is because it should be 8 freaking teams in the playoffs. This is going to show that even before the playoff, Hugh, what was the controversy really about? Really the top 4 teams. That's why they made it 4. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was the top 4 teams. Who should be where? Who should be ranked here? Who should be in the BCS championship game? Who should be right here or whatever? And they just made it into a playoff and just have them play it out. They should have an 8-team playoff, period. That's what it should be. Within the next 2 years or 3 years, they should implement the 8-team playoff system because it's gonna. This is going to continue to happen. It's going to continue to happen, and the reason it's going to continue to happen is because they still have to put the BCS and the NCAA, which are NCAA so crooked, man. Oh my God, the NCAA disgusts me. The president and whoever run the NCAA, they just get on my nerves, man. They disgust me because you got these old dudes pimping the mess out of these athletes, man, putting all these rules in place for them, all these restrictions, and then they got to control the committee, all this stuff. So they still have to put a little bit of their stamp or their rules on something. They just can't let the kids go out there and just play their hearts out and play and see who the best. You know what I'm saying? They have to do. They have to do this. What is that RPI or index or whatever they got to do, and the AP poll, and then you got the USA Today poll, then you got the college football playoff rankings, and you got this crap and conference championship and all this, and it's just like, dude, come on, man, like get a system where the kids can just play it out and put them against each other. Go ahead. We was all about them basically saying, if you win your conference, you should be in. You win your conference and you win. That's what I thought should have been legit when they started doing the conference championships. It's like, okay, if you win your conference, then you definitely should be in that playoff. It's just like how it is in the NFL. You win that conference, you're going to be in the playoffs. But see, here's my gripe with that, Hugh. You can win and you in, but it's only four slots. But how many power conferences is it?
Yeah,
you got the ACC, you got the ACC, you got the Big 12, you got the Big 10, you got the Pac-12. That's 4. You got the SEC. You got people from Conference USA. You know what I'm saying? So you got
Mountain West.
6, you got 6 to 7 power conferences that, you know what I'm saying, are on the outside looking in because you can only fill 4 slots, which
they have
more
to
than
get
likely
8 teams.
More than likely, you're going to have one from the Big 10, one from the SEC, one from the ACC, and they're going to toggle between another one from the SEC, or you gonna have a Big 12 or Conference USA probably sneak in if they get lucky. And we're not talking about one loss teams. I've seen Conference USA teams go undefeated and still don't get into the playoffs. Still don't get be number 7 or number 8. Still don't get in there. And to me, if that's a system that don't need to be fixed, man, I don't know what it is. You make it 8 teams.
Yeah.
You make it 8 teams. That way, you got 6 spots where you can fill with the ACC champ, the Big 12 champ, Big 10 champ, the Pac-12 champ, the SEC champ, and you get a Conference USA champ. And then you got 2 slots left in the playoff for, like you said, a Mountain West team or the American Conference that used to be the Big East. Come on, man.
I would love that.
You can have 2 wild. Man, come on, man. You can have 2 wild card teams.
That's what that is.
2 wild card teams, though. 2 wild card teams that could just go in there and play. And you know what I'm saying? Like the one at conference. I'm telling you, the March Madness tournament, the NCAA basketball tournament, has the best system I've ever seen. They have the best system, to me. The best ranking
everybody
system.
Get a shot.
Everybody get a shot. You got all these teams. And I know with football, it's a different sport. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can't get a shot. But this can at least include some of the teams that you wouldn't look at, because not a damn team from the freaking Mountain West, the American Conference, the MAC, none of those conferences aren't even going to get close to 4. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to get close. You got Western Michigan still undefeated, but it's teams that have lost 1 and 2 games that's ranked above them. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? The system got to be fixed.
Because, they look at it like, oh, man, that's a stricter schedule. But, they need to have a better, analysis than that. They have to analyze, and they got to do a better job. They're giving us that BS excuse. What I think they should do is just keep their mouth shut on that stricter schedule shit. What they need to start concentrating on is getting them games, to where they can have a go against other teams. Because remember, man, that's how Boise guys recognized, man. Boise State. They were playing more big-name teams, and they were giving it to them, man. They had a system to where they were putting them in the big games, and Boise State stepped up to the occasion, and that's what put them on the map. That put that whole school on the map and who comes from that school, because when you see a team like that, and they're going in and they're kicking teams' tails, man, left and right, really big-name teams, and they just really was mopping the floor with them, and people start to recognize them, man. They need to do that more in just the competition, period, man. They need to sprinkle more games with, heavier competition, at least get them 2 to 3 good games versus teams who people feel like powerhouse teams and powerhouse conferences. I think if they do that, they'll have a legit gripe on, trying to do more for them and at least seeding them better. But, that'll never happen, man. They would never want that to happen.
Yeah. Q just texted me. For everybody out there, that's our producer. He just texted me and was like, the thing is, they're looking at it from the perspective of probably, these kids will probably be playing 15 to 16 games. So how would they rationalize not compensating these kids for playing like that? My thing is, Q, I'm about to answer that. For one, they can't rationalize it now because football is 365 days of the year for these kids. They don't have an off season. You know what I'm saying? They don't. Even when the season is over with, they're still studying. They're still they're still doing stuff. They're still traveling, man. They got to go to camp still. They still do stuff. My thing is, what they need to do is go straight into conference play. If they don't want to do that, get 2 interconference games to start the season off against good teams, like you have a Michigan against a Florida State, or Wisconsin playing Alabama or something like that, or Clemson, traveling over and playing a Texas or whatever, and you have those conferences, intertwined with each other, so that way they done play good games, and then you go straight into your conference. Whoever come out of those conferences go to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
And I still think it should be 8 teams, man. This 4-team crap, 8 teams is sufficient for me. I think it's sufficient. 8 teams is straight. You'll limit the controversy a lot. I think you'll limit a lot of the controversy. You know what I'm saying? You win your conference, you in. Do it like that. You know what I'm saying? Win your conference, like you said, you win the conference, you're in. Simple as that. Because most of these teams have 12 teams in there, so you know what I'm saying, you'll have a conference championship game. So you win it, you're in. And then you have 2 wild card spots with teams from certain conferences who could get a bid to be in the playoffs.
That'd be great.
That's what I think, man. The system, the system is broken, man. The system is broken and needs to get fixed. Yeah, Hugh. I mean not Hugh, but Q. The Division 3 and Division 2, they have a playoff system. They have I think they have I think it's 12 to 16 teams or something like that. I'll have to look it up. But they do have a nice playoff system. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just wondering why the NCAA wouldn't do it. I mean, especially because it's more money. But I think, like Q said, they have to rationalize fandom. they would, because they'd make tons of money off that, man. Who wouldn't watch it? But we got yeah, of course, all football fans watch it. But we about to move on and try to fit a couple more subjects in. You was done with that, Hugh? You had any more insight?
Oh no, I was done. I wanted to ask you a question because I pretty much believe you're aware of it, man. And the NFL didn't do nothing about it. And how did you feel about the Deflategate 2, man, with the Seattle Seahawks, man? You know, they threw that under the rug, man, and you know we haven't even heard about it. It's been silenced after they played Monday.
I actually didn't hear about that. We about to get to the NFL. Hold on, we about to get to the NFL in a minute. I wanted to say that for last because I had a couple things to say about the NFL. But I wanted to get into the NBA right quick, and I had a couple topics with the NBA. I didn't want to talk specifically about, because it's early. It's real early. So I wanted to hit up a few teams, like team things or whatever, topics with that. I want to start off by talking about the New York Knicks, man. Now, we know they was moving around like crazy in the offseason. Like, I mean, they got Derrick Rose, they got Joakim Noah, they got Courtney Lee over there. They got
Jennings.
They got Brandon Jennings over there. They got Porzingis last year in the draft. So it's like, okay, all right, the Knicks might be something or whatever. man, they still not that good. So, is it time for Carmelo to move on and try to get him a ring somewhere, or
He definitely should.
do we still have faith in should he still have faith in Phil Jackson?
Man, the hell with Phil, man. It's like everything they tried to do over there, man, it ain't helping them, man. I think if they end up messing around and getting somebody like Steph Curry, this should still be a suck team, man. There's no fixing the Knicks, man. And when you look at it, they got so much talent around them now, and that's not even an excuse anymore. I believe one of their biggest problems is, man, they don't play team defense, man, and it seems like they be lost on the basketball court when it comes to playing transition and playing team defense. That's one of their biggest things that they need to work on, man. But their offense is not bad, but at the same time, you got to have both, man. But then we know, too, defense wins championships, not only in football, but basketball, baseball, or any sport. You can't have one without the other. I think that you're going to go somewhere. And I just don't think that they're a really good defensive unit either, man. And I think they need to focus on that because, yeah, man, it's like they look lost, man. And it's like it's no saving them. It's really sad because you was looking forward to seeing a better Knicks product come out on the sales floor. I said on the sales floor, like I'm at work. But on the NBA floor, when you've seen all these talented dudes like Rose, Noah, Jennings, and Courtney Lee. You thinking, oh, man, we're going to see something special, at least not the last stock of the NBA anymore. But, man, this seems like the same old Knicks, man, no matter who the hell on that team.
It's I don't know when Carmelo signed that extension last year, when he didn't, go off in free agency and test the waters, man, I was like, my first thought was, Carmelo, what the hell are you doing, bro? Like, dude, leave. Like, what are you waiting on?
That money in brand.
It'll be different. It would have been different if they were competitors, if they competed. You know what I'm saying? Contenders in the East. And they went to an Eastern Conference final with the Cleveland Cavaliers and just came up short. And he was like, okay, we added a couple more pieces. Here go Derrick Rose. There go Noah. We can go ahead and bang with these boys. Dude, they had one of the worst records in the NBA for the last 3 years. And then you decide to sign a 6-year extension? To me, I think Carmelo should leave, try to go chasing a ring somewhere. He's not getting any younger. He came in the league in 2003, this 2016. So, dude, you're on your 13th, 14th NBA season, man. Bro, you're not getting any younger. If you want a ring, fine. You know what I'm saying? Go get you one. You're not going to get it in New York right now. You know what I'm saying? If you just wanted the money, that's fine too. But don't get in front of the media and try to say you feel and blah. No, you don't. Because Phil Jackson ain't did shit since he got over there. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of that's on his wife, too. I believe a lot of that's his wife's influence, man, on him staying in New York, man, and him signing that deal. But, yeah, like you said, he's an idiot to stay there, man, because it's like the product, they try to fix the product, man, but there's something wrong with New York. Whatever's in New York, man, it has a stink and it needs to be fixed, man. Spray some Febreze on it, man. You still ain't gonna get that, what can we call it? The shit smell out of New York right now. And let's just be honest with ourselves.
Yeah, man. So I feel like he needs to get out, demand a trade, something, and go somewhere else. Get you a ring and go sit your ass down somewhere and chill out. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy that beautiful wife you got and them kids and all that money you done made and chill, man. Get you a ring. I don't think nobody would question Carmelo about going somewhere and getting a ring. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wouldn't question him like that.
Yeah, you
They'd
could,
be like,
man.
oh shit, Melo got sick of that shit over there. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
have
he
to
about
be
to go get
happy
him a
for him.
ring. Yeah. Nobody wouldn't judge him.
Did you hear what that clown said though, Jay? Man, he said something like, "I'd rather win college NCAA ring and win like a few gold, like some gold medals, and I'd be fine with that if I didn't win an NBA title." Then what the hell are you in the NBA for? I know he took that all that money to stay with the Knicks, and I'm like, well, damn, I guess he's satisfied with that then, you know.
Yeah, well, I guess
stupid comments.
I guess we got our answer, Hugh. That's it. It's nothing else to say to that. You know what I'm saying? Like what else you gonna say to that? Like he's satisfied. He's content.
Couldn't
so
believe.
If he's saying if I luck up and win the ring, cool. You know what I'm saying? If I don't win one, cool. So hey, whatever, Melo. Just keep your head up, brother, and because it ain't gonna get no better over there in New York. Y'all better hope y'all make the goddamn playoffs this year. At least an AFC or some shit. I don't know. Fuck it. I'm gonna go right quick to the Lakers, man. The Lakers been playing some good basketball, man. They beat the shit out the Warriors last week. What you think, man? They contenders? I wouldn't say contenders. I would say, do you think they're back on the rise to be respectable again, or do you think it's just some young guys and they just peaking right now and then they just gonna go back to reality later on?
Even if that did happen, it's still good for them because they young. They got a good nucleus with that team, man. You know, I was happy with the Brandon Ingram, and then you had Julius Randle and all these other young guys, man, who are really good young athletes, man. I think that after Kobe left, that just gave them the floor to produce and to play good ball. And I just think that right now that's the best thing for them, to be on track and playing as good as they are, because they're only going to get better. Because they're still a young team. They're going to build that chemistry. They're going to be on the rise. Hopefully most of those players and those pieces stay. And I believe through the draft or through free agency, man, they can really make a run. I give them like maybe a couple more years to where not only they'll be in the playoffs, but they'll be a dangerous and fun team to watch.
Yeah. I think it's a young team right now, and I agree with you, Hugh. It's good for them, for their confidence and everything. Luke Walton learned a lot from Steve Kerr and, stuff like that. Getting that experience last year with that Warriors team. So he knows exactly how to put a young type team together and really get through to them. And I didn't know he had a basketball mind like that. He got a pretty good basketball mind. But I think it's good for these young guys to get off to a good start the way they are, build their confidence up or whatever. I do think they're going to come back down to reality towards mid-season to late season. I don't think they're going to get in the playoffs, but this is a good confidence booster for them to be competitive right now. You know what I'm saying? But I think within a year or so, I think they're going to be back, to being very respectable in the West. And, they're going to get that LA fever again and, that type of stuff, man. Because they building okay. I think they made a good move at head coach with Luke Walton, man. I really respect that cat.
Very
good. He's a pretty good ass coach, man. And it seemed like they giving him the reins, too, just letting him do what he need to do to make it better, because LA don't play about their basketball team. You know what I'm saying? They're like, man, hey, we gotta get this together. So I am proud of them though. I'm not an LA fan like that. You know what I'm saying? But I do respect the franchise. I've always respected the franchise. You know what I'm saying? NBA wouldn't be NBA without what the Lakers have done for the league. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the years.
That's the NBA logo, baby.
Yeah, Showtime. You know, the Jerry West, Elgin Baylor days, Shaq and Kobe. You know what I'm saying? It's just it wouldn't. You know, it wouldn't be the same. Um, what do you make of the Golden State Warriors so far?
I think they're going to be more or less like how when Miami first got together and they wasn't winning as much as people thought they would, but they had to, build and they had to get chemistry. At the beginning of the year, it was like they didn't, rally like everybody thought they were. Then they started getting used to each other and then each other's style. They started to feed off each other. It got to one point where they had like a win streak. Then they was going into the playoffs, and then once they got to the playoffs, they lost that year. But it was like, man, once they played with each other, then the confidence got better. They knew their roles, and they played their roles. But I think right now, I don't think that Kevin Durant gonna stay because he gonna want too much money. But I think it's gonna take them a little minute to really mesh and really get along, and really understand each other's game and play with each other, because right now I feel look at it like Klay Thompson's still struggling as well. So once all of them really get together and they start playing, collective good team ball, I think they'll be okay. But it's going to take a minute. It usually just don't happen in a year. It'll definitely take a while. I don't think, KD got all that time. But, yeah, I think definitely they're going to get better and they're going to improve throughout the year as they get more comfortable with one another. That's just going to be in due time.
You took the words right out of my mouth, man. That's exactly what they're going through. They're going through the same thing that Miami's going through. And I told people that. I was like, it's not like they're going to start out and they just going to be 82-0 or whatever. People was predicting. I was like, they might have a rocky start because they have to put the pieces together. And when you putting pieces together, from people who hadn't played together like that before, you got to hit a stride. You know what I'm saying? So when you hit that stride, it's a certain, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a certain connection you have to hit, because KD is still really learning how to play within a system. He has never played in a system before. And from what I've seen, he doesn't know how to play from inside out, which that's where they need him at. He forgets sometimes that he's 6'11" with a damn 7'5" wingspan. He forgets that. So they don't have as much help on the boards. You know what I'm saying? They don't have as much help on the boards. If he plays from inside out, man, and runs that system, you know what I'm saying, the way it should be run within that system, like he has to fit within that system, once that clicks, oh, man, the league is going to be in trouble. Once that really clicks, the league is going to be in trouble because, yeah, he can shoot threes and stuff like that, but your shooters are Steph and Clay. Those are your shooters. You know what I'm saying? So you facilitate your shooters because Kevin Durant can draw a double team. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so he's going to draw a double team. So my thing is, you facilitate your shooters, and your shooters, especially Steph's going to make sure you get the ball. So, I mean, well, once they find that stride and once they find that out, they'll be fine. I'm not even worried about them. They'll be fine. But like you said, I agree with you 100%. They going through the Miami thing. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to figure their place out, or what they fit, what piece fit in what, or whatever, and how to really, you know what I'm saying, work it. Like I said, once you start seeing Kevin Durant starting out a play on the elbow to the low post, you're going to say, damn, they got it. There it is. As long as he keep bringing the ball down or you see him on the wing, playing from the wing to the elbow to the low post. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you keep seeing him do that, they're still trying to figure it out. But once you see him not bring the ball down and start a possession from the low post and then move his way up to the elbow to the 3-point line, then you going to say, there it is. They straight now. They good.
That's why if people hated Chris Bosh or didn't respect his game, you have to respect what he did, man, because that was Chris Bosh's game. He had to really realize, hey, I'm not, the star. I'm not the guy over here. We got guys in the system, and I can shoot a three if my person don't come out and get me, but I need to be underneath grabbing boards and trying to get the buckets. And, because like you said, not only LeBron James, but D Wade was going to get double teams. And that's how you can take advantage from being fed on the low post and under the rim, And that's what I think that he definitely will have to grow with, man. I would love to see him be more physical and grabbing rebounds and being in the low post because he's a tall dude. He needs to take advantage of some of the, gifts he have, man. Being like that 7'5" span he have, man. You need to take full advantage of that. These guys too finesse now. They want to shoot threes and be too pretty, man. You got to get dirty. What happened to the dirty 90s days, man, when they be in a low post banging down low?
Them days. Them days are a distant memory, man. You already know that. But it's like it's like I was schooling this guy the other day at my job because he was saying, KD need the ball more, and they blah, blah, and whatever. And I told my man, I said, did you see the game? I said, Kevin Durant had 29 points and only took 16 shots. He was 10 for 16 from the field. He's a very efficient scorer. He doesn't need to shoot in volumes. He doesn't need 20, 30 shots. You know what I'm saying? He don't need that. You give him 13 to 16 touches, and he going to get you about 30 points. You know what I'm saying? Because he can get to the free throw line as well. So he don't need the ball that much. And I think his teammates are understanding that more because the other night, Steph took over. You saw Steph hit the 13 threes. He took over. He's understanding, okay, let KD get his, and then me and Clay going to get ours. Or Dre, you know what I'm saying? We're going to fit everybody in, or we're going to mix it up, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So Steph can still take his 20-something shots a game. Clay can get about 15 shots off. Then they ain't losing nothing.
That's what makes him so unique. That's what makes KD so unique. He could take 12, 13 shots and still have 20-some-odd points because he had assassins, man. And like you said, he's going to get to the line. He's great, man.
He one of the most, besides Larry Bird, Kevin Durant is one of the most efficient scorers I've ever seen in my life in NBA history. One of the most efficient guys. When I start paying full attention to the box scores for OKC, over the past 3 to 4 years, I was looking at the box scores, and I would look at him have 40 points, and I go right over to his shot, to his field goals or whatever. He had like 42 something points. The cat done shot the ball 17 times. You know what I'm saying? And he's 14 out of
off neither.
Right, he's 14 out of 17 from the field, and then he goes to the he goes to the line, hit his free throws, and he good because he gonna demand a double team, and people can't check him, so they gonna foul him. So he gonna go to the line. He's hard to guard, and he's efficient as hell. And like I said, that's a super weapon to have on your team. That's like a nuclear weapon to have, man. Somebody who's efficient like that and can freaking get to the free throw line, dude, that's dangerous for other teams. You know what I'm saying? And once he really fits in that system and Golden State 100% knows how to utilize him, because it's starting to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's starting to happen. They figuring it out. They some smart cats over there. So they're starting to figure it out, how to get him in that system, how to get him fully comfortable. It's gonna be rough for teams. I'm telling you, rough. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead.
But yeah, man, it's just like I'm looking at the Knicks game, man. That damn Carmelo came out 0 for 5, man. You know, and that's how. If he get 40 points tonight, you guarantee he gonna have 30 to 35, maybe even 40 touches. And that's not good,
Carmelo?
man. But what? Yeah.
Yeah, he's not efficient.
You look at that boy, you look at Durant and see how efficient he is, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Carmelo, I have 40 points, but been I shot the ball 35 times.
He ISO everybody every damn game, it seems like. How come he always do that, man? He'll have a one-on-one ISO like at least 6-7 times a game. Like, it ain't no one-on-one ball. You got a damn team, man. Stop isolating people.
That's why Phil Jackson has said that he couldn't run the triangle with today's players. They ain't got no discipline. That's what he's talking about. Them damn ISOs, Carmelo ass, man. Oh, all right, man. Let's end it on a good note, man. Let's go to the NFL. Boy, power rankings, bro. What's that one I want to talk about? Yeah, I did want to talk about the power rankings. How do you feel about these power rankings? You have you seen them lately?
Yeah, I definitely seen them. I'm not really too upset with them, though, man. It seems like most of it is pretty accurate, though. It's really accurate, if you ask me. I know people frown upon when it be like bye weeks, when people still like New England went into the bye. They're number one still, you know, over like if the Cowboys, you know, was playing and you know, and they're the same record. But it's like, come on, man, the Cowboys played the Cleveland Browns, man. Who the hell ain't gonna beat them? So when I see that still as the 1-2 combination, I agree with that. And definitely the Oakland Raiders being number 3 because, you know, and I know, man, when I saw that game, I was really like, whoa, because a lot of people looked at them and didn't think that they were going to be as efficient as they were. And they basically dominated that game against Denver, man. They really made them look bad. Not only did they dominate that game and make Denver look bad, but they controlled the possession of the whole game.
Yeah, they did. I'm just Dallas is starting to look for real.
Oh man, I believe so myself.
Now, what I was looking at now, I'm okay with New England at 1. Cowboys at 2, that's fine. But then I actually didn't know the Chiefs were 6-2. But the way
power rankings are starting to make a little more sense near the top.
The way the Raiders are playing right now, I don't know if I would have. Yeah, I don't know if I would have the Chiefs over the Raiders right now, though. At I would have the Chiefs at 5 and put the Raiders at 3. Leave the Falcons at 4. Yeah, the Seahawks, okay, where they at? They at 6. I see the Lions at 8. The hell, the Lions get in the top 10. What's going on? I'm on NFL.com too. And
but they've been
Lions
no, Jay. A lot of people been talking about Stafford, man. He's been the talk of the town as of late, man.
And that cat been playing.
Let's hope he don't fail us, though. Let's hope he don't fail us, though.
That cat been playing some real good football, man.
Yeah, he has been. And he got so many, man, that game was incredible, man. Him, first off, that kick, that field goal actually was incredible. But for him to go into overtime and to dominate like he did, man, it was like, that was actually pretty good to see. Because, we usually be on the losing end of those games.
Oh, my goodness. That's where I thought it was going. I was like, here we go again. They go to the damn Lions. These cats, man. And they pulled it out, man. They've been playing some decent football, man, lately. I've been really enjoying watching them play, even though you need some blood pressure medication watching them. They've been good to watch, man. Like I said, especially Stafford. And you remember the first couple games of the year, probably like the first 3 games, man. Golden Tate was kind of disgruntled. Look at him now. You know what I'm saying? Look at him now. It's just, I like it. And I think Stafford is playing with one of the best wide receiving cores that he's had since he got in the league. He could spread that ball around now. You know what I'm saying? So it's I'm telling you, I'm surprised to see them at number 8 though.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy they're there, man. Yeah, but for the most part, the NFL usually gets it right. They usually get their power rankings pretty much right, man. I don't really be having too much to gripe about the power ranking. Probably something here and there, but other than that, it's not a big gripe or nothing like that, man. What's up with the Packers this year?
Oh, man, they've been looking bad, man. I even heard Aaron Rodgers come out and say that they wasn't really having fun, man. And I'm like, well, it's never it's not fun when you losing, but I just feel like, man, can't really explain it because he still got some of the better receivers. He got Jordan, he got Cobb, and now he got the new guy, Devontae Adams, man. It's like when players play for him, man, they play great, man. But it's like people be getting to him, man. He's been making a lot of mistakes that we don't really feel like this Aaron Rodgers-ish, man. And I've seen that a lot lately, man. Like guys that be playing off the ball or acting like they're not into the play or paying attention into the play. And when he throw the ball, the guys would come right back out. Like Darius Butler got him on a pick where he acted like he wasn't in the play and wasn't paying attention, but he read his eyes and seen that he was going to throw the ball and got an easy pick. And I've been seeing a lot of guys in coverage fool Aaron Rodgers lately, man. It seems like his eyes been deceiving him, man, but a lot of the stuff that he's been doing definitely is not how he used to play, and it's not his game. And they can't say he don't have the weapons. The defense is not even really bad neither, man. It's just those guys are not gelling, man. And it's like when these guys, it seems like putting more pressure on Aaron Rodgers, and he's just making a lot of mental mistakes, man.
Yeah, he is. It's I don't know. Sometimes you can be so good for so long. One of them years, it just catch up with you 1 year. You know what I'm saying? And you just kind of zone out, or you just not as passionate as you are, in the season. And I think that's where the Packers are this year. Aaron Rodgers, man, he don't look like Aaron Rodgers at all.
Not at all.
Even the games where he, have good games, he just still don't look like an Aaron Rodgers. I'm used to seeing, so and then the whole team just looked like it's a disarray at times. So yeah, they might be. And I heard the Sherman or what's the he's on the hot seat. So they might need to change there. You know what I'm saying? You never know. So hey, it is what it is.
I definitely
man.
hearing about McCarthy. He might be in trouble, man. I've been hearing that a lot the last week or so.
Mike McCarthy. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've been hearing.
Mike Sherman.
I've definitely been hearing about him, man. It's like, is it did it get to the point to where they don't have the trust in him and his offense too? Because a lot of the plays be a little too vanilla, man. It's like you look at it like, come on, man. We used to seeing him having like more of a run and gun, high flying, and you have a good running game too, man. And that's what I think hurt them a lot too, because I didn't even think about it, man. Lacy, man, haven't really been running the ball lately. He's been injured, or they've been having problems with him because of his weight. And they've been concerned with his health because they like, man, he needs to lose weight. And I remember McCarthy came out and McCarthy said, hey, man, he's a little too overweight and he has to do better. And I'm like, damn, you calling him out after a playoff loss, man. You don't do that in the playoffs, but I think a lot of them was frustrated with his weight too, man. And it's like when that run game was strong and when Eddie was playing good too, man, it kind of helped out with the play action pass. But people don't respect their play action in the pass right now, man. Ty Montgomery do a good job, but he was a little banged up too, man. And they really need a running back, man, because I don't know what the heck going on with Starks if he's hurt or whatnot. But yeah, that's something they definitely gonna have to think about during next season, because not only is Eddie Lacy at health risk, but he's an injured risk too, and they need to have somebody like a two-headed monster who can solidify that backfield, man. And until they do, man, people are not going to respect Aaron in the run game. Definitely that play action pass.
Right. They it's like they teeing off on Aaron Rodgers now because they know they don't have a run game. So yeah, it's tough for the Packers this year. They 500. We used to the Packers being, a couple games over 500 right now, but yeah, they playing 500 ball. That's about where they need to be. That's pretty much it. I'll let you go ahead and talk about the Deflategate too. Go ahead and
yeah, man.
talk about that.
I want you to look at that too, man. And if you want, we can continue that discussion too on there, man. In the next broadcast, like the first few minutes on that. But it was kind of strange to me, man, because it was like damn near the whole game I seen deflated footballs, and I just didn't feel like it was being talked about, man. It was like one of the worst games I've seen too, man. I thought that the game was interesting, because the actual Bills came into Seattle and they owned that place, man, for, the first half. Just thought a lot of dirty plays went on, man. Like when did you see when Sherman, he was offside and tried to block the kick from Carpenter, and he injured Carpenter on the play. They basically said he was offside and gave him a 5-yard penalty, so after giving him Carpenter and them that extra 15 to kick the field goal. Then after that, Jay, it was like the ref stayed right there and let the time go off the clock. And he had like they just weren't organized that game, man. I don't really want to get into all of that because I think more or less we'll talk about more of that the next time me and you meet up. But it was just awful, man. The officiating was poor. I didn't feel like they gave them a fair shake, and it was just a terrible game to watch. And that's why I think right now Drew Brees and a lot of the people are so, irritated with the NFL and their ratings plummeting, and they think it's because poor officiating Roger Goodell. But Yeah, it was really crazy, man. When you see and when you do the research on that, man, damn near that whole game, it was like the punter was kicking the deflated ball. They was running with a deflated ball, man. It was like the whole game that ball was deflated, and it ain't that cold outside yet, man. You know, like the winter months really get. Just really felt like, man, it was a slap in the face because, you know, they were saying before with the New England, with the air pressure, when it got cold outside, that's when those balls got deflated. But these balls was clearly deflated, Jay, and the NFL didn't say nothing. You didn't hear them have any, you know, for say in the future they might not say nothing. So it's like, man, and it's like Mike Gruden even mentioned that every time they're in Seattle, something bad happens, man. Like with the botched Hail Mary play in the call, and, you know, Sherman interfering with Julio with the batted pass, and then this whole thing with the field goal, man. It just seems like maybe that's just how they do in Seattle, man. Like turn the other cheek and let shit slide. But just really thought it was a poor game and poor officiating. But you know, if I was New England and it was like even if it was the punter that had like a deflated ball, that whole damn team would be suspended or fined. You know, they definitely pulled out the checkbook on that, man. And just was a little frustrated with that, man, because I just don't feel like they get their fair share. But yeah, it was just like one of the worst games I've seen. Jay, did you see that game actually?
No, I watched the tail end of it. I think I watched like probably like the last 5 minutes, man. I know people are going to be mad at me, but like on Mondays, I'm at work. So when I'm at work, I usually watch wrestling when I'm at work, you know, because it's for real, man. It's like, it's 3 hours and 15 minutes that, you know what I'm saying, the time just fly past, man. So while I'm working, I'm watching wrestling. So, you know, like football, I really like to be tuned in when I watch football. Like I kind of like have to really, I be wanting to pay attention fully to the game while I'm watching it. So I just, you know, I watch wrestling because most of the time I just listen to it or turn and glance at it or whatever. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to really watch it. I watched like the last 4 or 5 minutes when I went to lunch. Yeah, so.
Well, we can basically, if you want, we can pick up from that topic, man, because I know when you see or you do your research on the deflated balls and see some of the things that went on in that game, because it was definitely like a melee, man. It was definitely a circus watching it. And I was kind of disappointed to be an NFL fan because of the poor officiating, man. Some of them refs should have got fined. I think that, you know, Sherman, you know, should at least got a penalty, if not getting fined, because he clearly roughed the kicker, man. But it was just a weird game because after he got an interception, man, he got up in Rex Ryan's face. It was just
I saw
a strange game altogether, man. And, you know, the coaches was kind of going at it at the end of the game, and it was just a weird thing to watch. But I definitely want you to check that out a little more, look into the deflated footballs on there, because, you know, that's another topic. But, yeah, I definitely want you to see it and read up on it so we can discuss it, man, because, you know, if anything, I wouldn't have it, because they just let it slide like nothing happened.
Right. All right, man. So we'll pick up from there next week. Next Wednesday, we'll be on time this time.
For sure.
I actually wanted to next week. I wanted to go down conference by conference in the NFL, so we could pick all the best teams in the conference so far, and you know what that conference is at, like how strong the conference is or whatever. We're gonna be back with some NBA talk. We're gonna talk UFC next week. I want to talk a little boxing, stuff like that, man. So we'll be back next week at 7 o'clock with another episode of Beyond the Bleacherz. So on behalf of Hugh and myself, y'all have a safe rest of the week, and we'll see y'all next Wednesday. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace out. Thank you.